believe passionately in entrepreneurial fire, in giving everyone, everywhere, the chance to do their best and feel even better. We believe in you. We're here to empower every beautiful dimension of you. And at Mary Kay, we know we've all got a few things in common. We're all worthy of a community that understands us. We all deserve flexibility, and we should get to run our day instead of it running us. So maybe that's what brought you here to get to know us. Mary Kay has been a groundbreaking, trailblazing company for more than 60 years, and we follow in the footsteps of the original beauty influencer. Like many women in the 60s, Mary Kay Ash was not treated fairly in the workplace, so she made a change and founded a company that gives everyone the opportunity they deserve. Today, Mary Kay continues to be family-owned and continues empowering others in more than 35 countries. We are a company driven by the idea that you can do what you love, be who you want, and earn extra income on your terms. Our idea is powerful in its simplicity. First, Mary Kay creates hundreds of products that people crave. And yes, we win industry awards. Conduct 500,000 tests a year for safety, quality, and performance. Hold more than 1,600 global patents. And products are made in our own global manufacturing and research facility. Because what gets us really excited is how much people love our products. Because your confidence is our obsession. Next, we keep the business model beautifully simple too. Independent beauty consultants are 100% independent business owners. They buy directly from Mary Kay, then sell directly to customers to earn money. That's it. No wholesalers, no middlemen, no one holding them back, period. They enjoy the flexibility to work a Mary Kay business a lot or a little at parties, online, and on social, all while learning life skills from others and getting digital tools to help along the way. And if they're ready to lead a team of their own, they can drive the business as far as they want. Beauty consultants have one of the highest profit potentials on product sales in the world. Plus, at Mary Kay, they are always celebrated. Small wins are recognized, and big accomplishments are richly rewarded by a community of entrepreneurs and corporate employees around the world. Working together, we've also built a long history of giving. Mary Kay and its 4 company-sponsored foundations has given more than $200 million in monetary and product donations since we began tracking our philanthropic efforts. We support life-saving research and survivor empowerment with more than $24 million awarded to cancer research innovation from the Mary Kay Ash Foundation. And we strive to protect the environment by planting more than 1 million trees, powering our global headquarters and manufacturing with 100% renewable energy, and achieving zero landfill site status in our global manufacturing facility. We are a brand with a purpose, and we hope you see the amazing potential we see for a bright future together. This is where you can come to thrive. This is where you can unleash your confidence. This is Mary Kay, empowering women entrepreneurs since 1963. Then, now, always.
Okay. Well, my name is Michelle Rollman, and I'm from Tennessee. And tonight I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite products from the Time-Wise Repair Kit. But before I do that, I'm going to give you a little bit about myself. And so it kind of starts out happy. I'm a wife and a mom. I have 9 kids, 7 boys and 2 girls. Their ages range from 31 to 15. 4 of my children are married, and I'm expecting my first grandchildren this summer in about a month. Twin girls. My son and his wife are having twin girls. I have another son getting married in August. And so there's a lot of really great things happening in our family. But about 2 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer. And at the time, we realized that this was a time in our lives when we were going to have to really pull together and find some strength. And so sadly, October of this year, he passed away, almost 18 months to the day that he was diagnosed with cancer. And he passed away here at home, which was his wishes, with me and his mom and all of our kids around. And while that is really sad, I'm thankful that we had time. We had time to make some memories. We spent our last anniversary last January in Paris for a few days. About 6 months before that, in August, we went to London for 4 or 5 days. We took shorter trips because it was harder for him to go, and we had treatments and stuff. And so we made some great memories with the kids. We made some great memories with just the two of us. We got to spend intentional time together as a family, and we were able to take care of things financially and work-wise and all this kinds of stuff. And so while it was really hard, we did have that time together. And so about the time that before Mark had passed away, my cousin Deb, who's a director, would reach out to me for caring and talk to me about self-care and sent me stuff. And one of the things she sent me was this Time Wise repair kit. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I love this Time Wise repair kit. I don't know about you, but as a mom of 9, I have to have things that do double duty. I cannot have something that just does one duty. And one of the things that I really love about Mary Kay lines is their stuff does double duty. And everything is so easy and self-explanatory. You get this beautiful box with this kit. It's gorgeous. I have my box and I use it to keep mementos in and little cards and stuff like that, because it's a great heavy duty box. So it serves 2 purposes. One of the things that I love about the foaming cleanser is it cleans, it revitalizes, and it hydrates. So 3 things in one bottle, right? The next thing, which is probably seconds to one of my favorites, is the serum. This amazing serum. And it has the word on there. It is a lifting serum. So that's what it does. It lifts this triangle right here that we're trying to lift, right? It lifts this, smells great, goes on just like butter. It's just wonderful. The second, the next product it has 2 of these products. One is for the daytime and one is for the nighttime. And this is just moisturizer. This moisturizer, it keeps your face moisturized for 12 hours. It has SPF sunblock 30. And it just melts into your skin in the best way possible. And then this is my favorite, the nighttime cream. And the reason that it's my favorite is what it has in it. It has just a little bit of retinol in it. And so all night long while I'm resting, it is working hard to rejuvenate and restore and resurface all those things that needs to happen for my skin. The last little bit is eye cream, right? There's trouble areas. I swear, one of the things that really gets me is as we grow older, our eyelashes get thinner, our eyebrows get thinner, but we get like hair right in here, down in our chin. Like, why do we have to get hair here and we lose hair here? I don't get that, but it happens. But this is great. Now, it's not going to grow hair onto your eyes or your lashes, but what it does do is it just goes into that bone area right in here, and it really helps with the sagging and with the dark circles and all those kinds of things. And it has this amazing titanium top here, and it just is always cool. Doesn't matter how hot it gets here in Tennessee, this is always cool on my eyes in the morning and at night. And so this is just a 4-step simple little process. And so when Deb sent this 4-step simple little process to me, I started using it and I really enjoyed it. And she I used it all up, the to-go set, and then couple months after Mark passed away, she called me up and she was like, "Hey, how are you doing? What's going on?" Talked about Mary Kay, talked about what was happening in my life and the opportunities that Mary Kay had. And she asked me that great question. She's like, what is keeping you from doing this? And I was like, well, nothing is really keeping me from doing this. In fact, one of the things that was super hard for me was Wednesday nights. Wednesday night was the night that my three kids who were at home would leave, and Mark and I would go out to dinner, and they would go to youth group. And all of a sudden, Wednesday nights, the kids leave, and I'm here by myself. And after I decided to get a kit, um, and be an independent beauty consultant, Deb told me about Winning Wednesdays. And so I went on one night, and I don't really remember a lot about it. I remember that the lady who spoke, she used to be a school teacher, and then she sold Mary Kay, and she didn't buy a car then for the next 18 years, right? Because she sold enough product to purchase vehicles or have vehicles as an incentive. And that was great and exciting. But what was really great and exciting for me was to just see these women encouraging one another, applauding one another, on Wednesday night. And after that, it was over in 45 minutes. But for the first time in a few months, I wasn't lonely. I felt like, oh, wow, I had something to do on a Wednesday night. It was a new routine. And I think that was one of the things that really got to me is I needed to establish new routines, right? The hardest parts of the day were in the morning and at night. And so having this product to put on my face every night and going into a new routine just really kind of lifted my spirits a little bit and kind of gave me something new to put onto my life when all these other things had been difficult and hard. And so a couple weeks after I came on, another really sad thing happened. My dad passed away also. And so in the matter of like 4 or 5 months, I lost really two of the most influential and longest male relationships that I had, my dad and my husband. And I'll never forget, we all went back to Pennsylvania, and of course, Deb was there, and we were sitting at a bar, and my kids were all sitting around, and we were having something to eat after the visitation. And Deb and I started talking about Mary Kay, and my kids were like, "You're selling Mary Kay, Mom?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm selling Mary Kay." And they looked at me like, what are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to make these big changes and these big decisions after, trauma in your life. And I was like, this is going to be great. This is going to be fun. And so one of the going things now is that, my new granddaughters are going to love driving in my pink Cadillac when I get it. Right. And so that's, where we're at now. I got a chance in March to go to the Atlanta Mary Kay conference, and I met some amazing women down there in Atlanta. And as I was watching them and hearing them happen, and honestly, some of their lives were crazy too, and some of their lives were a mess. And I felt a kinship there, and I was like, I could get my red jacket. I could, and so that's my short-term goal right now is to get a red jacket, and later on to, get some more people on my team and be a director and qualify for a car and stuff like that. And I'm very thankful that at this point in my life I don't have to worry too much about finances. Again, Mark was great at making sure we were taken care of, and we're able to continue homeschooling our kids and stay at home with them. But I'm going to need something to do. I'm going to want something to do. And I think one of the things that we offer as independent beauty consultants, as red jacket consultants, as directors, is we offer women a lot more than just makeup and skincare. We offer them community, purpose, fun. We offer them freedom. We offer them choices that they can make. And I think that is a lot more when I hear about Mary Kay herself, and when I read her book, and when I listen to the promos and other people that know her. I really feel like that's what she was about. Like, yes, this is a product that can bring so much more than just what you look like. But it's also important. I mean, it's been important to me to look good and to get up in the morning and not to just lay in bed and feel bad, but to get up and wash my face and, put on the skincare and then put on a little bit of mascara, what I call, lips and lashes, right? Lips, little bit of lip gloss and some lashes on, and get out there and go for a walk or meet somebody for coffee, all those different kinds of things. And so I think what we offer women is unlimited possibilities and unlimited choices for them. And I can't think of a more great, amazing thing to offer them than that. So I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to answer some questions that Dawn may have.
And I'm going to have Christina share the special if they want to take advantage of that. And then me and you get to have a little bit of a conversation to wrap up our evening.
We have this great special going on, and it is the skincare line. Let's get the flyer up. Right?
Mm-hmm. I don't see it yet.
Okay. Well, anyway, let me say it's the skincare line. All 5 of these products for $215. That's what it sells for $215. And I know that that can seem like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, right? It can be a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But these products last a while, and you just use a little bit. One of the things I love is that they just dispense so easily. You just press this down, and the perfect amount dispenses. No more, no less than you need, right? These brochures tell you exactly how much to use: a pea size, a dime size, a quarter size, right? So you get this, and you get I have it close by. Oh, there it is. Our lovely travel roll bag for 50% off. So if you purchase today the Time Wise Repair for $215, you get the travel bag for 50% off. And the great thing about this travel bag is that it comes apart. And so there's five of these little compartments. I think it's great. My daughter has one, and she takes stuff that she just needs for the gym or sports or from work. She doesn't have to take the whole kit, but this comes out, has a great hanger that you can hang up, and you just have everything you need. And each little compartment can hold different things. Maybe you want to put your skincare in one. Maybe you want to put your makeup in another. Maybe you have contacts. You want to put contact solution and your eyeglasses and all that kind of stuff in another. So these 2 products, so you get this for $215, the regular retail price, and then you get the bag for 50% off, $36, which is $18. And then at the very bottom of that flyer, you see that it says, ask for the 2 ways that you can get these for 50% off. And so I'm going to pretend that you asked me for those 2 ways. So the one way is that you can host a party. You can talk to the independent beauty consultant that invited you tonight and say to her, hey, I want these products at 50% off. I'll host a party, and you guys will get together and host a great party and sell a lot of things and make a lot of women happy. Or you can decide to become an independent beauty consultant. And part of the process of that is that you get 50% off the retail price of these products. And so again, you have to talk to your independent beauty consultant, and tell them that you're interested in becoming one, and they'll hook you up and tell you all the great things that you need to do.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to add a spotlight here.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I can see why people like you at your presentations when you're teaching them, because you can tell that you love the product, and you're sharing with them something that you love. You're not selling them something. So that was so fun to hear. I would buy it from you, and I was picking up on like intentional. You are very intentional. I love the double duty product thing, like your preference on that. We've found to be true in marketing research in Mary Kay. People want multi-use products. So we've come out with more and more multi-use products, and the lips and lashes, that's great. Get us out the door. But it's so true, when women feel better about how they're taking care of themselves and on the outside, it does help your emotional health too, which I know that's one of the reasons Mary Kay picked cosmetics because it's something that women feel comfortable talking about, but it would also help them feel better about themselves.
I
So
think
Michelle,
something as a when you're caring for somebody who's sick, right? Whether it's your
mm,
parent or your spouse or your child, you don't take
mm,
care of yourself. You know, you
mhm,
go days without washing your face, or you know, someone looks at you and they look at you weird and you're like, oh gosh, what's wrong with me? Because you're not thinking of those things. And it's essential to your own mental health and
mhm,
to the health and welfare of your family to take care of yourself at a very basic level.
mhm. Yep. And that's something as women we need to teach other
Mm-hmm.
women, because if you haven't seen that modeled, from your relatives, the people who raised you, I I didn't know you're supposed to wash your face every night. Like that wasn't something I was taught. I was just copying what the girls in high school or college were doing. And most of them weren't washing their face. And so I was in my
Mm-hmm.
early 20s when I had my first Mary Kay makeover and was taught you're supposed to cleanse, exfoliate, tone, moisture balance, and protect. Didn't matter the line. It's just like brushing and flossing. It is
Mm-hmm.
like a preventative healthcare thing. So yeah, the teaching oriented approach that Mary Kay um, uh, founded this on, because she felt that was missing in the skincare industry, cosmetic industry 60 years ago, and still is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we are the ones who teach. That's why we have a lot of, a homeschool mom, educators, a lot of educators and nurses in Mary Kay for that reason. It's kind of a natural bent because they like to educate. But Michelle, share with the women who they're listening to this recording or they're a guest on tonight, and this is something, or a consultant. Maybe she just got started to get her things at cost, because that's kind of how you like tipped your feet in the water and got started, and then started to plug in, like you said, to Wednesday night. You came to Atlanta. All of our consultants have an opportunity to come to Dallas, which I know I cannot wait. I think that'll be the first time I get to give you a hug in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen you on the screen for the last few months, but that will be so fun in August to come to seminar. But you plugged into those things, so you got to make a decision that you wanted to proceed from the inside out while you were falling in love with the products and getting half off. So for guests that may think it's not the right time, I think I'm not sure many people on here could top. I have 9 kids, and then I'm a widow, and then my,
Mhm.
father has passed. Like that's a lot of life, and you still have 9 kids.
Mhm.
You still like that's a lot of life. What would you share with the women who either are in and are not progressing in building their business because they don't feel it's the right season of life, or are considering starting and delving into the
Mhm.
process and think that it's not the right season of life? What is your perspective from where you're at now that you'd like to share with them?
Okay. Uh, I think, there's always a reason that it's not the right season in life, right? I mean, and I think it's very true. When you have little kids, you're just physically exhausted, right? And then they get older and that kind of exhaustion leaves, and then there's more mental exhaustion. And then you have older kids and adult children, and then you're really exhausted because you see train wrecks happening and you're like, what is going on here? Um, and so there's always a reason to wait, right? And I think I've done this before. I've waited too long for certain things in my life, and those opportunities have passed by, or I've had to play catch up or regretted some things that I wish I would have done earlier in life. And so I think, the right time comes all the time, right? And it's just an intentional thing. Like I'm going to spend 2 hours a day and call X amount of people and talk to them about Mary Kay, or text them. I'm going to go to the baseball games and I'm going to have my Mary Kay pin on, or I'm going to give out, little things to the moms that are all there that are exhausted just like me, and I'm going to be intentional about the people that I meet, the opportunities that I have, and what I can make of those. Yeah, I mean, I would have never thought that, you know, 5.5 months after Mark passed and 2 weeks after my dad passed, that I would be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Right. Like, I mean, because I didn't really want to I did want to do it, but what I really wanted to do was I wanted to just lay in bed and do nothing, right? And can't do that, right? And so I think that's one of the things I said is it gave me a purpose. It gave me a community, another community, and I have great communities. I have amazing sisters and nieces and sister-in-laws and a mom, and I have great cousins, and I have a lot of women around me. This was just a different thing. I've never been in corporate America. I hear a lot of you guys on here talk about how terrible it is. I've never worked for a corporate company in my life, right? I was a school teacher for a few years, and I started really having babies, and then I stayed home and started homeschooling, right? I mean, this will be my 27th year of homeschooling coming up, so that's a career. And so I think, yeah, you just make decisions. Just like I made decisions long ago that homeschooling was going to be a focus. Now I'm making decisions that Mary Kay is going to be a focus. So I'm taking chunks of time out of my day. And what I notice is that other things are still happening. I'm still making dinner for my kids. I'm still going to their games. I'm still being part of my church. I'm still reaching out to my friends. I'm still doing all those things, right? So what was I doing with that time? I don't know. I was probably wasting it a little bit, probably a little bit lost, probably didn't have something to dive into. So I think chunk out that time, even if it's just in 90 minutes a day, chunk out that time to dedicate to your business, to the things that give you passion, and work at that. And then maybe after a month, you'll see, oh, I have 120 minutes of time now instead of 90 minutes. And then after a little bit, I have 180 minutes of time, right? I think it builds, your passion for it builds, your time builds for it. We're moms, we're women, we make things work, right? We make things work. We are the magicians of doing 26 hours worth of work in 24 hours in a day. We can make this work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
It is, it's just so fun for me to see how one woman's dream 60 years ago is an answer to prayer that you didn't even know to pray for 60
Absolutely.
years later.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be giving other women hope because we all are going to go through transitions in life. I mean, you have to be 18 to be a Mary Kay consultant. I started when I was 23. But from 18 to, you never have to leave Mary Kay as a national. We have a family security program. So we do need to retire to take advantage of that at 65 or 70, depending on when you become a national. But there's in between there's so many transitions. And those are places where, I see women get stuck. The empty nest or, being at home and away from other adults when they're raising little kids. That I told my daughter, she has an 11-month-old, and when my kids were little and 24 months apart, qualifying for the Mary Kay director's trip was a godsend. Because my husband and I wouldn't have been going to Hawaii for 10 days and staying at the Ritz-Carlton with little kids. Raising kids, I'm not sure there would have been a season that every year we would have gone on a 5-star vacation. We wouldn't have done it. Like you said, were doing those to make those memories at the end. Most people wait until they retire. And sometimes, like you say, you run out of opportunities. And so Mary Kay gives women an opportunity to, have the Cinderella gifts, I can't wait for you to be on stage in the future and getting your diamond rings and all these fun things like Cinderella gifts that, you had a husband. Some people don't. And now he's, with Jesus. And so he's not going to hand you the ring, but you're going to get it on stage by a tuxedoed man saying, you look beautiful. Thank you so much. Because all of the rewards in Mary Kay are in direct proportion to how many other women's lives you've impacted. Your cars, your trips, your jewelry. And this is what Mary Kay intended this to be. One of my friends who's an NSD just sent me the eulogy that she did for one of her consultants. her consultant's husband just passed, or the consultant just passed. She's been a consultant for 13 years and went to everything, was very connected with her Mary Kay community. And her husband asked the National to do her eulogy for her. And she just shared that. And, you know, LaRhonda said, she goes, this is what Mary Kay intended, is to give a community for women through all seasons of life. And everyone can pick their place on how much Mary Kay they want to do in it. You know, if you want to go straight to the top, or you want to plug in and service your customer base, however you want to. Thank you for.
I think that's one of the great things, is that it gives women freedom. I think in our world, women can be pigeonholed so much, right? And what Mary Kay does is it gives them freedom and choices. And
yes.
You know, I think it is visionary. I mean, this company was founded by a woman, just by the pure fact that we get gifts that we would never buy for ourselves, because she knew the money that we would make, we would use to pay the mortgage and buy groceries and take our kids to camp and all that kind of stuff. We wouldn't spend it on us, you know? And so even after she's passed, we're still getting that vision of, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Dawn. I want to thank you, Michelle. I want to thank all the, you know, for what we've done. Here's a ring. Here's this potential. Here's that. I mean, that's just, yeah, no offense, but I don't think a guy would think of that. Right. No. And that's okay. And that's okay. I mean, you know, so, yeah, I just think that it was, her fingerprints are all over, you know, even why she did what she did, you know?
Right. Yeah, she was a visionary. Her autobiography, which when new consultants order the pro start that comes in it, even if I wasn't in Mary Kay, I, you know, would have benefited from reading that, because I mean, she will go down as one of the biggest influencers of women around the world. You know, by the time this world is done, I mean, the countries that we're opening up in, with her grandson in charge, he's like, we're figuring out how to open up companies faster than we have in countries. It's been a long, laborious process. And he goes, there's too many women and kids that need this all over the world.
Well, yeah, I do with this economic and business unit for my kids when they get to be teenagers, and you know, how to start a business, all that. I wish I would have had that biography, her autobiography, earlier, because some of the things that she did and the choices that she made are just great out of the box thinking for an entrepreneur. And, you know, I have 2 boys at home that are left. Eleanor graduated, and I'm going to make them read that autobiography. They're going to probably, you know, pitch a fit, but that's okay. Like, I'm the teacher. I can do that as a homeschooling mom, because it just gives them a different perspective. Right. And a good biblical perspective on why she did what she did, and stuff like that. So yeah, I have new curriculum,
and I think
a new book for my curriculum.
Yeah, I think that that's a great idea. That might like spread through the homeschool. I just saw an article about how the kids, what they're looking at statistics with kids, their success in life that are raised, they're homeschooled. Like, I never contemplated that with my kids, but I'm thinking, you know what, in 4 or 5 more years, if the world continues to get crazier with little steel man, I may be a homeschool grandma. You never know.
There you go. Well, you just call me. I'll give you some tips.
Oh no, you were top on my list. I would definitely, I know you need a coach. And in Mary Kay, you have a coach from the very beginning. So I would not attempt anything like that without someone that has already walked the road. And that's been such a blessing with Mary Kay, is that, you know, we all, no matter, you know, how fast or how slow you choose to build your business, you always have someone coaching you and available to coach you that's already walked in those footsteps, which is very different, because practice and theory can be very different.
Absolutely. I mean, I probably talk to Deb 5-6 times a week. I mean, we've been cousins for, you know, I'll be 58. So she's a couple of years older than me. We've been cousins for that long, but really probably the last 5 months, I've talked to her more in 5 months than I have in 58 years.
Yeah. Isn't that nice though? It gives you a reason, because of building the business together. So, you know, women who are listening to this, like, who do you want to do more life with? Like, I pick people to share the product with and the opportunity with, that if they do say yes, they're women I'd like to spend more time with. But as women, when we're married and we're raising kids and you're working, there's only so many hours in a day. So
Yeah.
you end up only hanging out with your kids, friends, parents, your husband's coworkers, wives, or your neighbors, or your family and friends that you've had forever. Like Mary Kay's brought such a vast richness to the relationships, the female relationships. And honestly, they have changed who I have become as a woman, a Christ follower, a grandma, a wife. God knows who you're supposed to be with. He knows who your birth parents are, but he also knows who your influences are supposed to be if we allow him to pick them versus social media and our culture.
Absolutely. I mean, again, we get to choose. It's our choices and it's our freedom. And I just think that that is something that is so appealing to everybody, but particularly women, right? We want more freedom. We want more opportunities to do the things that we have passion about. And honestly, I mean, I've heard it 100 times since I've been in this business. These products sell themselves. I had the opportunity on Sunday. This little sweet old lady in our church was frantic, couldn't find her Mary Kay consultant anymore. She found out that I was one. She was just, I took her a couple things that she wanted and she texted me today and she's like, I'm so glad I found you. I need the cherry berry lipstick. I need the appleberry lipstick. I need 2 of them. I was like, okay, we'll get them for you. I mean, I just think that kind of loyalty doesn't come from a product that is inferior or customer service that is inferior. I think who Mary invited said, hey, yeah, she sold other things. She used great customer service. I think, with product, you get me, right? You get me, and I'm going to be with you through hormonal changes, through life changes, whatever you need. I'm going to be here with you, and I'm going to have something that speaks to you and the journey that you're on, right? And that's great. I mean, that's drop the mic kind of great.
That's a great place to wrap this up, because that is fantastic. I'm going to have Christina put up when Michelle was saying you can get half off on your Mary Kay. How that works is it means you're getting a consultant number from Mary Kay. It doesn't obligate you to any amount of sales in your business. It is, I have that same screen, Christina. It doesn't obligate you to any amount of sales. The company Perfect asks that you place 1 to 25 wholesale order a year. And honestly, if you're becoming a consultant to use the products, you would do that once a quarter at least. I think my family does, 600 at least a quarter in product. And then the more people you have living in your house, the more products that you can be saving money on. So everyone starts with the eStart, $35. It gets you the picture, what's pictured there. It's basically some samples of different products, your website, and credit card processing with ProPay. So that would be if someone's like, I'm just getting my things at cost for myself. That's it. The $90 Pro Start, you can add on to that. That is my favorite package because you have all that, like $400 plus a full retail value. So that saves you a ton of money there. Just trying the products yourself, you're getting more than 50% off. Plus you have all the sales aids and tools to do your business virtually or in person. That gorgeous Go kit bag. People pay more than $90 for bags that look like that at Marshall's. The company does such a great job. Mary Kay always wanted, if a woman wanted to change her financial situation, there's no one who can't afford to start a Mary Kay business. You can also add on the $45 product sample. Again, that is, the company always gives new consultants the best value on their start, and then free product bonuses in your first 4 months with the company, because they want you getting off to a good start. They want you selling products. They want you falling in love with the product, sharing the product, and making money, because then you stick with it. And that is the future. That's our next 60 years in Mary Kay. So for those who are guests, re-listening or listening tonight, thank you for helping your consultant out. And so you want to, Michelle talked about, you're going to want to right now, pop a message if you can talk to your consultant right now, or if you've already set up a time, and you're going to want to know what, if you ever did start a Mary Kay business, ever, what would the reason be? Why? What did you hear? Like what is most attractive to you about what we've talked about? What would hold you back from getting your consultant right now? And when you listen to this, if you get your consultant number before your head hits the pillow, ask your consultant, what's my gift for being decisive? Maybe you get your roll-up bag as a gift from her. You know, maybe it's something that doesn't come in the starter kit. Maybe she, you know, gives you a choice. I was given a decisive gift opportunity when I heard about this business 38 years ago. And I'm glad I was, because I'm like, all right, well, what do I have to lose? I'm going to get my stuff at half off. I get to try it. Plus I get fill in the blank for free. And that was the incentive that pushed me past chicken, that, you know, made me say, you know what, I've spent more than that at Target. And really, how much am I going to think about this? And then I'm going to go home, and potentially other people could talk me out of it, which they would have, because I did not get my, you know, family and friends were not cheerleaders for me, you know, doing this. This 38 years ago was very countercultural to, you know, the family I grew up in, the education I had just gotten. And so, you know, I would have chickened out, I'm afraid. And because I was very, like, Mary Kay's worked out people approval from me. That has been a gigantic benefit of this business for me, is to learn to live for an audience of one, you know, God's approval, period. And if humans are supportive of it, awesome. If they're not, that's fine too. I'm not responsible for that. But there's a decisive gift that you may get. Maybe it's the products that you're like, you know what? I want to take advantage of that special. I'm going to get my roll-up bag at half off. Or, you know, maybe you're saying, okay, I want to get half off. I may try the business, but let me host a party and see how that goes. Set up a party. Virtually or in person, that can be done, you know, anytime. It can be done tomorrow night. We can do things that quickly these days with our technology. But let her know, what would hold you back? If it's about the products, you know, the set or half off by being a hostess. And then, you know, I look forward to hearing. We have brand new team members. Next week, we'll be back at Winning Wednesday. There may be some other women that need a positive community to plug into weekly. We'd love to have you join us. So thank you, Michelle, for sharing. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great night.